and welcome to Traditional Painting the Digital Way. This is where I use digital painting apps to teach traditional painting techniques. This is part 3 of my Best Buddy series, and in this video we're going to work more on the little girl and her lion toy. If you want to follow along with acrylics or even oils, check out part 1 in this series, where I have a list of all the paint and canvas and brushes that I use. The app we're going to be using is ArtRage for Android. And here I'm going to start working a little bit on her face. And if you want to mix up a face color, a flesh color, you can use phthalo yellow green and add some alizarin crimson and use white acrylic gesso. And that will make a really good flesh color, and then you can either add browns or whites to it and even yellows to lighten or darken the skin. And here we want to add a little bit of some shadows to her neck and to the front of her face, and you're not going to see much of her face, but you can see her eyelashes and a little bit of the edge of her face here. And so I'm adding a little bit of purple there, just trying to make a little bit of the shadow color that's underneath her hair. And you can go ahead and use probably your round brush in ArtRage, or you can use the dry clumps brush as well. And then you can use the hard out smudge brush to blend the skin colors together. And probably if you're following along with your acrylics or oils, use your number 3 round brush for this. And so here I'm working on the arm a little bit, and I'm just kind of trying to get the shape right now. But for the shadows and to add the structure to the arm, you'll use a little bit of a darker color, and you can throw in some burnt sienna to your flesh mixture there, or just kind of leave the flesh mixture really dark. And you can also add burnt umber if you want to go a little bit darker for those that are following along with their acrylics and oils. And I'm just working on the other arm here too, just kind of adding sort of the general area of where the wrist is and the palms of the hands. And then I wanted to add a red shirt to this picture. Now I know in the original photo reference that I have, I think it's a dark blue, but I wanted to add red because there's a lot of green in this picture. And a color complement to green is red. And so I wanted to go ahead and just add that to her shirt and just make it stand out a little bit better. It will make her figure stand out a little bit better, and it will add the color complement to all the green in the painting. And color complements are just opposite colors on the color wheel. And you can actually get color wheels in the art store, and it will show you which colors are complementary to each one. And it usually goes that orange and blue are complementary, and purple and yellow are complementary, and red and green are complementary. And complementary just kind of means that it makes those colors stand out, and they go well together. So here I'm just kind of adding some highlights to her shirt and adding the wrinkles, and I'm just using kind of a lighter shade of that red, and you can use cadmium red light for that, and then add some white if you're following along with your acrylic colors. And then here I wanted to start underpainting on the little lion toy, and in my photo reference it's a really light yellow, but I wanted it to be a little bit more of a realistic looking color for the lion. So I'm using kind of a yellow ochre or an orangish, darker orangish color for the lion. And so if you're following along with your acrylics, you can mix yellow ochre, maybe throw in some cadmium yellow and some cadmium orange, and maybe just a tiny bit of some white acrylic gesso. You just want kind of this lion color. It's sort of an orangey but not real bright orange, and kind of I don't know, it's kind of a shade of brown, I guess you would call it. I'm not sure what you would call it, but anyway, those colors that I mentioned, you can definitely use those to make this color if you're following along with your acrylics. And then I want to make the face and the pads of the paws a little bit lighter, so I'm using that mixture with a little bit of white thrown in. And then I just wanted to kind of put in where the features are, and you can use sort of a really dark brown, almost black. You can throw in ultramarine blue and burnt sienna to get a really dark, almost black color for the eyes and the nose and the mouth. And I'm just kind of sketching in where the muzzle is, and just kind of putting in the general features here. And I'll have to go back over it again and make it look more fuzzy and work on the fur a lot more, and just kind of. But here I'm just kind of adding indications of where I want everything to be. So the mane will be a little bit lighter, and so I'm just kind of adding a light yellow mixture, and then some burnt umber color, just a darker brown, to get the features of the lion. Right now we're just not interested in the final details. We just want the underpainting, as you call it, just kind of showing where you want to locate things on the figure. And I'm using the round brush in ArtRage. It works out really well, and you can just make it real thin so that you can do details with it. And then I'm doing her foot, and she's got bare feet, so it'll look like she's running out around in the grass with her bare feet here in this picture. And I'm just kind of filling in the space around the lion with some more green, and I'll work on the foreground grass later, but right now we're just kind of filling in that space and just making it look like she's walking in grass in the park here. And you can just go back and use your dry clumps brush for this and sort of blend it in with hard out smudge brush, and I'm just kind of touching up a little bit the grass in the background. And this is where it's nice to have layers in your digital art, because you can go ahead and go behind the figures and actually add the grass that you needed to put in there. And then here I'm working on the chain of the swing a little bit, and we want a gray color probably. You can use ultramarine blue and mix it with burnt sienna if you're following along with your acrylics. And just use your short script brush. And again, you can use your everlasting oil brush if you want to in ArtRage here, and just make it real thin. And we just want sort of indications of chain links. We're not making them really big or detailed, because they're not going to be right in the front of your picture. They're going to be kind of distant. So you just need indications and sort of the texture of chain links on your swing. And then of course we want to make the seat dark here, like there's a board stretched across the bottom. Some seats are plastic and some of them are made out of canvas, but we want ours to look kind of like an old board swing. And then I'm just kind of working on the chains again, trying to get them straight, make them look straighter, and also darken them just a little bit so you can see them better. And you just kind of make a sort of a little round links, but you don't have to make them look perfect or anything. And then here I wanted to get a better look at the shadows on her neck, and so the photo reference in ArtRage doesn't enlarge big enough for me, so I went ahead and used my gallery app, and this is my Samsung Galaxy Note 12.2 tablet, and it has floating windows on it. And so this is what I was using just to get a better look at the way her hair goes and also the shadows on her neck. So I'm kind of adding some more colors to her hair using dark browns for the shadow part. And you can use the round brush in ArtRage for this, and just make sure that it's on a really small setting for this brush, and it will make really nice tendrils that look like hair. And so I'm just kind of working on her ponytail scrunchie there. I decided to make it pink just to add some more color to the painting. And then I'm working on the individual strands of her hair, just kind of adding them kind of the way that they grow in the picture, and also keeping in mind that her hair is falling out of the ponytail, and that's part of what makes it look so cute, is that her hair is coming out of the ponytail and then it's hanging down in front of her face and in her eyes, and so you want to try to show that because that makes it look really cute. And so I'm adding different colors of sort of blonde colors, so light yellows and darker browns. If you're following along traditionally, use yellow ochre. Throw it in some cadmium yellow light with it and add some white acrylic gesso for the highlights, and just kind of go back and forth between different brown colors. And then I worked a little bit on her neck, and I'll continue that in the next video. This is the end of part 3 of my Best Buddy series, and in part 4 I'm going to go ahead and continue working on the little girl, and also we're going to start adding the fur and refining the details on the lion toy. So if you want to see that, then hit that subscribe button. And thanks everybody for watching. Thank you so much for your support. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments down below, and I will catch you later.